All right. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of On the Air with Eric Thompson. We are podcasting from Studio 4 here, still in historic downtown Conroe, Texas, situated in Montgomery County, Texas, birthplace of the Texas flag. And today is Saturday, April 11th, 2020. Dude, it's only the 11th. We have still got a lot of time left in this month of April to be in this quarantine or whatever. But anyway, all right. So this is, the day before Easter. So if you're celebrating Easter this weekend, I know it'll probably be a little different type of celebration, but good on you. So we're looking forward to that. So you might have noticed that we have a new studio. How fun is that? Well, I'll tell you this: we've taken our mandatory COVID vacation, and we have probably, excuse me, I've been having a bit of sud, so that's the way things get done around here. But anyway, on our COVID vacation, I've been doing a few upgrades. And I just want to say this has all been made possible by a very, very generous grant from the Burl Warren Johnson Foundation. So a heartfelt thank you for all of the support and the very, very generous grant that we were able to receive for you. Thank you, Burl Johnson. All right. Also, I want to say a big thanks to the man behind the scenes, as usual, Mario Aguirre. Dude, it just doesn't happen around here without Mario making it happen. So big thanks. Mario has been a driving force around here. And I probably can't get out of here without saying big thanks to Conan, the man with the big hammer. So thanks for making all the construction stuff happen around here. And before we get out of here, last but not least, I want to say thanks to Body Cannon. Nothing around here happens without a big thanks to our sponsor. If you're looking for CBD relief, 25 milligrams, ships the next day. You're going to love it. www.bodycanna.com. You can check out the little QR code. If you've got a QR reader, you can actually snap a picture of that. It'll shoot you over the website, and you'll be able to purchase some CBD there. Don't do it now. Watch the show. And I'm just going to say it, like and subscribe as always. Okay, so what do we got? Headlines, man, we got headlines from around the world, around the block, dude, just kind of a crazy. So in no particular order, I think we're going to jump into some headlines in just a bit. We'll see what's happening in the crypto markets, look at gold, silver, oil. And as always, it is starting to be a little bit of a tradition around here, but we've got another motivational video submission. I'm sure you want to hang on for that. Man, we had a big idea. We were going to have somebody on. We were going to use some new technology with our telephone, but we're actually have the capability to do phone calls now, so we're COVID safe. Took a little bit of doing, but that's up for the next episode. So, but we're gonna have a guest on for the next episode. But before we get this week started, another thing that I wanted to say, it's been on my mind. It's the kind of thing that's been waking me up in my sleep, dude. I've got to share this with you. I've got to get it off my chest. Bing is malware. If you use a search engine Bing, dude, don't. It is just malware. And I feel like if you know what I'm talking about, then I don't need to say anymore. And if you don't know, well, good. I'm glad you don't know about Bing. Anyway, Bing is malware, and I can get going. Okay. This week's headlines in no particular order. So let's see what's up. Okay, here's one. Bernie Sanders. Dude, threw the towel in on the Democratic nomination for the 2020 presidential endorsement for the Democrats. Bye-bye, Bernie. Called it quits. Bernie, man, he has a huge contingent of supporters, man, like firm, ardent supporters. So I know that he'll still be on the ballot in a bunch of states. And it's going to be kind of interesting because they have that Democratic convention coming up. And I don't know how that works because by the word convention, you think they're going to convene, except everybody is separated. So I don't know exactly how that works, but I'm sure they'll work it out. But so that leaves pretty much by default, or unless we see some dark horse candidate like Cuomo, by default, it looks like it's going to be, who else? We've got the Donald J. Trump. I was looking at Jumpin' Joe, Uncle Joe, man. It's we've got a head-to-head cage match scheduled for November, and Biden versus Trump, man. That's gonna be a pretty wild one. So that's coming up. That's gonna be pretty interesting to watch. But you know, I think, and I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll just feel wrong here. But I think that Trump is going to use Pence as his vice presidential running mate again. So I think their ticket is going to stay the same. And that brings to the big question, who is Biden going to choose as a vice presidential candidate? And so I find that to be kind of an interesting question, one that I was kind of thinking about. And so I was thinking, if we're going to be all coveted, inside our house, all shuttered in, we might as well have some fun with this. And I know there are a lot of options, but I want to tell you, on a personal front, I don't think that the Democratic Party has ever been the same since this person dropped out of the race. And I'm going to tell you, you heard it here first, right here on the Air with Eric Thompson. If you are looking for one hell of a lot of comedy, I'm telling you, here it is. It is Mr. Politics Be Damned himself, Cory Booker. Yeah, man, I'm telling you right now, if we could get like a team up where we could get like a Biter, Booker, dude, that's funny stuff. Cory Booker, hints with Joe Biden. Damn, that is funny. I love it when Cory has a mic. I love it when Joe has a mic. This could be a good damn time. We've got Trump with the mic, Joe with the mic. They're backed up by Booker. I guess Pence is going to be the grown-up in the room. I don't know. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that. So I really genuinely hope that, and I'm pretty sure that the Biden campaign has been waiting for me to put out another podcast so they could get my take on this. So, Joe, if you're listening, Booker's the boy. Check it out. Okay. I don't know, man. Dude, so I'm kind of at a point where I dodged the big... I don't want to talk too much about COVID. Hell, we had to talk about any other thing than COVID, but we have to get into it just a little bit. So some of the big national news, man, kind of crazy. I know that we try to keep this sort of as Conroe-centric, but there's some big stories out there cooking that I think pertain to us right here at home. And it seems that the World Health Organization has found itself in a cooker. And it seems that, let's see, how'd it go? All right, so it's come out that China, or in an earlier broadcast, I have to back up before I can go forward. So here's what's going to happen. If you might remember, in an earlier broadcast, I was talking about the numbers in China, and I was talking about how they were just. I was impressed or I didn't understand how a country with 1.5 billion folks could contain their rate down to only 80,000 people. And it seems like the way that they were able to do that is that they weren't. But that did not stop the World Health Organization from just like bestowing, all these praises for basically them lying about what they had done. And so it's kind of come out now, and it seems like the Trump administration feels like that the World Health Organization is kind of doing the bidding for China. And people are now looking at this thing where they think that China lied about the numbers, lied about the data, lied about how long they knew. And if they didn't lie, they were like ridiculously late in coming out with it. So it seems like that's a point of contention. And so I was checking out this guy. I don't follow this too closely, but this guy, what is his name? It's Ludros. What is this? Something. Yeah. So this guy, he's from Ethiopia. He's kind of done some crazy stuff. Joined some kind of a left-leaning Leninist Marxist groups in Ethiopia. He's Donald Trump's. They said that they are literally reevaluating their relationship with the World Health Organization based on this guy's relationship with China. You might have heard about China's Belt and what do they call it, Belt and Road or Belt and something, where they go in these countries, these developing nations, they invest all this capital in those countries. While this cat was in Ethiopia, it shows that he got Ethiopia in big debt with China. So I don't know. Anyway, the U.S. thinks that their relationship is a little too cozy, and Donald Trump said that if they want to do that they can fund that on Beijing's dime. He's going to he's reevaluating American taxpayer-funded assistance for the World Health Organization. Yeah, it's Tedros. Tedros is how you say that. So anyway, what else? Oh, here's one. The other thing. This is kind of when somebody is the head of the World Health Organization, I always think that like when they're calling them doctor and stuff, you think that they're actually a doctor. I mean, like a medical doctor. He's got a doctorate, but it's in philosophy, probably like Marxist-Leninist philosophy. So I don't know. Anyway, who am I? What else, man? Let's move past that. What else we have? So you have the bogus numbers from China. I think we touched on that a little bit. What a drag. It seems like the American Enterprise Institute said this week that they came out and, using their words, they denounced China's official corona statistics. And this isn't just like somebody was fudging or exaggerating or saying, they just came out and they, using their words, they called it the official version of the Chinese statistics was, quote, mathematically improbable. So, not sure. I guess that is in academia speak, the way you call complete BS on somebody else's story. They're saying that a more probable infection rate is somewhere in the neighborhood, conservatively, of 3 million people. It's a long way from the 80,000 that they were claiming, making everybody else feel like they were doing a horrible job with this. Anyway, they were saying, which kind of is what I touched on, was population size. They're saying that the population size makes it almost certain that China's, and they're calling it a disinformation campaign about what happened inside the city of Wuhan. They're saying the lies that they told inside Wuhan are nothing compared about the lies that they told about things happening outside of Wuhan. So that's pretty interesting. So bad stuff happening, and it just shows that we still don't know without correct numbers. It's hard to get our arms around, like, are we doing a good job? Are we not? So data is still out there. We're trying to get it, but it looks like there is a lot of stuff still happening with the world looking at China and what the origins of the Wuhan virus were, what they knew, when they knew it, and what their responsibility was to the global community. In kind of a more at home, closer to home, on this side of the pond anyway, it seems that I saw some and I wanted to share some pretty just brutal footage that is coming out of New York. It shows that the U.S. has become the first country to record more than 2,000 deaths of people with the coronavirus in a single day, and it seems that New York City has been hit harder than any place in the United States. It says that New York is now burying unclaimed remains, people from the Wuhan virus, in mass graves. And it's showing that, it's saying that they're using both Rikers Island inmates in conjunction with contractors to dig mass graves, and they are literally stacking coffins in these graves. And these are not, these are basically the people who are unclaimed in the, that were left there. So tough times in New York, and I hate to see that it is literally scenes that are unreal. It's like a movie that's unfolding in slow-mo, where we have pandemic scenes of in the nation's largest city using bulldozers to bury people that were stacking up in the morgue. So tough times. So, and in a crazy way, I remember just a few weeks ago when we were staring at it, wondering if it was going to come to America, and when it was running through Iran, and we were looking at satellite photos, and you were seeing the big dirt scratches outside of Tehran. Here they are. That's what they look like up close. So crazy time, man. My heart goes out to all the people in New York, and even down to the inmates and the contractors or whoever's having to do that job. That must be a rough job. Damn, I would have not thought that I'd seen anything. It's wild footage, right? Pretty crazy, huh? Wouldn't have seen anything like that in the United States. So what else? I don't know. Other hot spots around the country that seems that are jumping off are Detroit, and then Louisiana with that whole Mardi Gras thing, and then Washington, D.C. says that the United States we're on track to exceed the Italy as a country with the highest death toll. And yeah, man, we're getting beat up by this virus. It's pretty crazy. And I don't want to pile bad news on top of some more bad news, but it's kind of this piece, as I was researching this show and I was looking through the news, man, this one caught me just completely off guard. I hadn't heard anything about it, but I'm going to share it with you. There is a brand new pandemic. Man, it's happening right now. It's rolling. It is African swine fever. And now, I don't understand maybe its original origins are Africa. I'm not a scientist, obviously, by any means. But right now in China, again, another pandemic jumping off in China right now, they have already killed 40% of the hogs in that country. They're killing swine in order to try to cull them so as to stop this virus. They are so worried about this will go through and just decimate a population. Now, they had hoped, just like they had probably hoped in Wuhan, that nothing would happen, that they were going to contain this with all of these culls. But it shows now that they didn't contain it, that they were not able to contain it, and it jumped to a very large swine farm in Poland. So it is now in Eastern Europe, and it's right on the edge of Germany. So now what we have is another population of swine being completely decimated. I don't know where this goes, where it stops. Does it come to the United States? I don't know, but I just wanted to before I went any further, just saying, I don't know why China just draws it's unlucky in these matters or whatever, but I hope they're able to get a handle on it. Let's do anything but COVID for a second. You want to, man? Okay, let's do this. Let's do Mario, how about let's do crypto? You want to do crypto? We got a slide for that? Yeah, man. Okay. So this is way more fun. Okay, Bitcoin it goes up and down, but at the time we made the graphic, it's 69. That's $6,905.77. Ethereum is at 158.25, and Litecoin right at 42.53. So if you're tracking some of the cryptocurrencies, those are the three that I like to look at, and so there they are. And then I think we got another one for, do we have gold and silver? Did we do that one? Oh, there it is. It's already up. Bang, look at me. All right. So right now it seems that gold is holding pretty steady right at 1685. Silver spot is at 1523, and West Texas Intermediate crude is still just dancing a little bit below $26 a barrel at 25.90. Now, that was kind of fun. Look how uplifting that was. Even if the West Texas prices are still bottoming out, man, my heart goes out to all the oil gas folks. So I hope that with OPEC agreeing to stop some of that production, and maybe if Mexico will get with it and jump in and stop their production, we'll get a little bit of this glut taken care of. We can drive the prices back up, and here in this oil region, we can see good boom times again. Okay, so it's kind of becoming a little bit of a little tradition around here, as we always like to hear from our watchers, our subscribers. I always love if we can get a video submission, anything that you see newsworthy. I don't know, man. Might be interesting, clever, newsworthy, inspirational, uplifting. We're always open to receive them. But I thought it'd be a good time, as promised, that we are going to go ahead and get a little motivational boost from one of our subscribers again this week. Mario, are we ready there? All right, buddy. Bang! Show them what we got.
Well, if it isn't Joey Bag of Donuts and Johnny Golf Club, here for another apocalypto workout. So, I know it's a little rough coming out of the cubicle, hitting up the what we now call the grocery store, but we're gonna do some squats today. All right, fat boy? Squats. I'm gonna go through several different kinds, but here we go. Here's how we start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get them up, fat boy. 8, 9. I'm talking to you, nose. 10, 11, 12. Yep, your wives can watch. 13, 14, 15, 16. And for all you people that aren't so fat, 18, 19, 20. We can get some of these in. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yep, we'll do a few sets of those, okay, fat boy? I'm just gonna let you look right now. Girlfriends, wives, this is what you're trying to build your man into, all right? Here we are.
Yep, your wives can watch. we take submissions from everybody. It's just so far we've only got that one. Anyway, all right. Big thanks to Conan for your motivational words. We're always looking up to you for as much. On a different note, let's see. How about in Austin, Alex Jones? He is in a little bit of a jam with the FDA. The FDA says that Alex may have, I didn't personally hear it, so I'm not saying he did, but they are accusing him of making some false claims that his toothpaste and mouthwash kill the COVID virus. So they're telling him to tap the brakes just a little bit. They're saying, hey, Alex, I think they sent him a little letter out Thursday saying, if you don't mind not saying that anymore, they'd sure appreciate it until you did a little test and got all the paperwork to make such claims. So I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying that's the letter that Alex got. Man, it's always fun to watch Alex. I'm cheering for you out from the cheap seats, dude, because it is always a circus from afar, man. Wow, what do you do? Okay. So, anything else, man? What else do we have? Where's my mouth? Look at that. Let's see. Alex Jones. I don't want to get bogged down in all the Alex Jones details. Cease and desist letter. How about, there you go, even better. How about some local COVID numbers? Look, guys, the Easter weekend is here, and Judge Mark Coe, he's talking, what is it, Keogh? I think that's the way you say it. I'm not sure. He's basically saying we need to avoid gathering. And I'm just going to... you can preach all you want to, but at some point in time, that stand by. Noises from the background. Whoa, even better. Marco, man, so what he's saying is Easter weekend's coming up. We got to avoid being around everybody. And one of the things that I wanted to show was this graphic. Can we blow that up, Mario? Can we make that like bigger? Look at this. All right, and then, yeah. So check out this line. This is a pretty steady rate of growth. If you're staring at this, look at it jump in like, oh, I don't know. You can, it pitter patters around for the first part of March, but when you can really see a line, let's say, I don't know, March 24th, 25th, right? I'll call it 25 people. Well, it went from 25 people to 250 people from the 23rd to, what would that be? I'm just doing some quick math here. You have to pardon me. 23rd to the 31st, that's like 11 days, or what, 7, 8 days, and then 8, 12. So in 20 days, this thing grew 1,000%, or 10 times. Or you could just put, a zero on it. And so what I'm wondering is, are we going to see the same growth rate? Because if you look at the line, it's still climbing just like it has been. So I don't know. But in any event, we are now at 251 people that have the virus in Montgomery County, or at least as reported. So who knows how many has it? And then again, it comes back to numbers. But pretty crazy stuff. So we're seeing a trend. And what I'm saying is I don't think we need to see that trend take a skyrocket-like trajectory because it's already going up pretty nicely. So I think we all get together and just have a little Easter break, and we are going to kill each other. Don't do that. So I think we still need to practice the distancing. What did it say? We have... a lot of people in self-isolation. We've got 36 people that are hospitalized, and then a whole lot of people are just, I think, what have we got, about 80 people are in recovery right now. But one of the good things that I was surprised about is that one of the things that worried me most is what happens if we had a huge run on the hospital beds. And if you were going to look for a silver lining story, at least as I am understanding it, I'm just reading the news like everybody else can and just kind of doing commentary on it. But here in Conroe, in Montgomery County, they're saying that they are not seeing the surge that they had expected. That doesn't mean that it's not going to come later. We're not, who knows what's going to happen. But they also say that so they still have beds available, which is nice. They're not being overrun like other places. So keeping our fingers crossed, and a big thank you to all the people, all of the healthcare workers, whatever your part, whatever role you play, man. You're the front lines of this deal, and we genuinely, really, really thank you, because without you, we're getting it. But anyway, their statement, this is their quote. They're saying so far, as of now, they have ample beds, so good on them. Let's see what else we have. So, and then it just goes on that Keogh, the judge, says he asked everybody just to hang in there. as if we have another choice. So I guess that's what we'll do. So today is what, the 11th? And there's like 30 days this month. Isn't that right? April has 30 days? Yeah. So we've got another 20 days of quarantine. Holy stuff, man. I mean, we're about a third of the way through this deal. So we'll see how that works. Try not to be too crazy. But hopefully the end is in sight. One of the things that I wanted to touch on, I know that I've, in my own personal life, some people in my Facebook circle, and I've seen some things, but right now, Montgomery County mental health experts, they've said that there's been an increase in the suicides in Montgomery County. I'm sure that probably the peril of not knowing what's going to happen, with there's our graphic. And what's going to happen with your bills? Maybe being cooped up together, not getting the exercise, not getting the maybe all the kind of things that keep you, from losing it. Maybe it's got you feeling a little uptight. Well, the good news is that you're not alone. There are people that are happy to talk to you, want to talk to you. Completely anonymous. So if you just want to chat with somebody, kind of feeling a little wrapped, a little tight or whatever, the number is 1-800-273-8255. That is a national prevention hotline. They call it the Lifeline, and I believe that it's a 24-hour. So if you are, you're feeling like you're in a spot, whether or not it's you or somebody else or whatever, I don't know, man. But I'm just saying, if you need to talk to somebody and you're not feeling it around the people around you, what the hell, man? What could hurt? Give the number a call. It's 800-273-8255. So anyway, a little PSA. We're thinking about you. What else? Okay, so. We're up to Greg Abbott, man. So here's the deal. This is a little troubling for me. This guy is still. He keeps saying, like kind of Trump was saying earlier, that he was going to reopen businesses soon. I don't really know what that means. He says next week that he's going to provide an executive order, and it's going to be in reference to reopening Texas businesses. Dude, I hope we don't kill each other doing that when it's a little bit early, because the spike, if you saw that line in the graphic that we showed earlier in Montgomery County, that thing is still heading for, it's at a 45-degree angle heading for the moon. So I don't know that, I'd hate to see it take off, anything that does that. I don't think anything that would, as bad as our economy is and as fragile it is, I don't think anything is going to hurt it more than dead people. So, dead Texans, so it's not what we need. But anyway, he says that this reopening can be done in a way that is safe, and for the economic revitalization. So, dude, I don't know anything, and if you're listening to me for real information, man, you're probably at the wrong spot. But what I will say is, whether or not you're going to church or reopening bars or anything else, I think right now is a little bit too soon for Texas. And he may be talking on the other side of that May 1st, and I think we need to take a real hard look at what it is on May 1st. But yeah, it's not time, and I think safety. It's kind of like this. I was actually talking to a buddy of mine earlier today before the show, and I was talking about like whether or not you're opening up for Christmas or whether or not it's kind of like keeping your kids completely clean for pictures, and then like 30 seconds before you get there, they have a chocolate fight. It's kind of like you should have never bothered in getting them cleaned and dressed in the first place. And that's kind of how I feel about whether or not it's Easter or reopening bars. Until we know that we've got a handle on this, the cost of messing this up, of having a massive infection that starts to look like, in Italy or Spain, or even now UK is getting ran over. It's kind of becoming the new hot spot where all this happening. But the cost of at the cost of becoming like that, I think Texans are more disciplined than that. I think we're more resilient. I know that our economy is going to come back, and I just don't want to risk the health and welfare of us. So I hope that they'll take all that in too. Oh God, pardon me. Damn, that's good. Anyway, I hope that they'll take that into consideration before they start turning Texans loose on each other again. So right here was the part where we were going to have like the handy-dandy phone call. It was really cool. Mario did everything perfectly. I kind of, but I think we're going to push it off one episode. So we're hoping to have we're hoping to have that that option coming up real soon. It's going to be cool for the COVID stuff, but not only for the COVID thing, man. Now I can interview all kinds of people that don't have to come to the studio. So that's going to be a cool addition. But next time. So in its place, I wanted to talk about something that's kind of been coming up, and I almost hesitated to bring this particular topic up, but I live down here. I live down here in the historic arts and entertainment district, even though that everything's closed right now, and I've lived here for about 4 years. And what I've seen is an ever increasing number of homeless people, and just so you know. I don't have anything against the homeless people. I talk to them, and I see a lot of them down here. But I'm kind of, how to say this? I'm at a point where I'm wondering what we do for them and how best to do for them while also doing best for the rest of the population. I know that from being down here, I'm able to see. I see them all every morning. And you see them at the times when they're able to come out of the shelters, and then they all move across town within a few minutes of each other. And it's disturbing because you see a lot of very unmedicated sick people who are just doing, talking to people that aren't there, doing, bizarre things morning after morning. And the reason I bring this up because I know mental illness is a huge deal with these folks. I don't know how you get them help. I don't know that you can make anybody take their meds if they don't want to. But, man, they need the meds. And if they're not going to take their meds, then what, And then there's a point there. I talk to some of these folks, and they're not crazy. They're not mentally ill. It just seems like they're very lucid, and maybe their life choices or circumstances brought them there. And then other people that I've talked to have been very frank with me and just said, it is their choice, and this is the stress level that they prefer in their life. And so, kind of as people, you have to also, honor their wishes, even though you think, damn, I wish, how can you like sleeping outside in a sleeping bag? They do. Otherwise, they would do something different, and they told me as much. This is some of them. I'm not saying all of them, but I mean, some people have just made those choices. I've talked to some people that have jobs and are homeless, and so this is where they are. But then I've also talked to. Okay, we got to go a little bit back to talk about this. So right now, there up. I don't know if the COVID virus changes it everything, but there was a big movement, and there was money coming in to revitalize downtown Conroe, and there was shops were opening and all these types of things. But I don't want to have a situation where people start thinking about investing in Conroe, investing in the future of downtown, and then they take into idea, well, I could invest there, but the homeless situation is kind of getting to the point where maybe driving a business away later if it gets too bad or it gets too crazy. And so what my concerns are is we've got a cool thing going down here, a cool vibe, and I want to see it foster and grow into a reef where people come and enjoy what's being built down here. But at the same time, people don't want to be approached by aggressive panhandlers, or people don't want to go take a walk in a park. We have a great park right over Heritage Park. I like to work out there, but I know more and more it's not just a one-off homeless person that's there, but it seems to be a lot of people. And the other day I was walking in the park and I noticed that someone had defecated on the stair, and so that's a little bit of that's troubling. And it's just things like that. So I don't know what the right thing to do is about people enjoying public spaces, but at the same time making it where other people don't want to enjoy the public spaces. So I don't know how the right way to handle this is. And then there's the other thing. I see that there are homeless people here, and therefore there are more services that pop up. You have the churches giving away food, you have the shelters, you have the little coffee house down here, and they all cater to the homeless crowd. But my question is this the best place to have? Is this the best place to have those services? Because if the people are just here to lay in the park or to panhandle or to be about, would they be better served if those services, because I feel like maybe they will follow the services that make it possible for them to exist. And so if those services were situated around different areas that maybe had more job opportunities, like day labor, or maybe closer to mental health care, or maybe closer to health care, I don't know. But I didn't start this little part of this conversation to really solve any of this, but more just to ask some questions that I think I'm going to dig into in some later episodes. So I wanted to just talk about as downtown Conroe grows, as I hope this hip little thing, this experiment that we have, continues to turn into what it is, what it's becoming, and at the same time not get stymied, but at the same time honor the people in our population that need our help. I don't know. There's got to be a solution. I don't know what it is, but I'd like to toss it out. If you got any comments, I'm open to them. Man, Mario, dude, I think that that probably brings us we're drawing this bad boy to a close. Thanks for tuning in. If you've listened this long, as always, man, thank you for listening to what we do. We put a lot of effort into it. Thanks. We're making little baby steps, a little improvement kind of happening around here. I'm glad that you'll hang out with us. Couple things. Our sponsor, www.bodycanna.com. Damn, man. Thank you. www.bodycanna.com. If you have a QR scanner on your phone, it'll shoot you right to the website. You can order right there. Next day shipping. They support us, and we always try to support them. I take it every day. I love it. So, I'm not talking about something that I don't just eat like M&M's, so I recommend it highly. And again, man, big thanks to Mario, dude. I can't do it without you, seriously. And big deal. You're making this all possible. And thanks for the lady that bought the sushi buy, and Conan with the big hammer, and all the other people behind the scenes that are helping out with all this stuff. So until then, enjoy your Easter holiday. It is springtime. It is bees and butterflies. And, man, we're going to make a new COVID generation. So get busy, people. Until then, I'll see you. We out of here? See ya. Damn.